Welcome to JWL Sports, where we review all the best sports clips from around the world. Now you're probably wondering, why should I watch over here instead of anywhere else? And that's because over there, they don't care about what you have to say. They say this all the time, they talk down to us, they think we're just a bunch of clowns on YouTube, Twitter. But I think it's the opposite. I think we know exactly what we're talking about. So I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. Without further ado, let's get to it. We're watching a clip of First Things First, talking about the Patriots and, how much of a disaster their offseason has been, or has it been? It's apparently they're pushing hard for JJ McCarthy now, which I think would be a fascinating pick. It seems like a bunch of people really fell in love with JJ McCarthy. It seems like the talent evaluators seem to be kind of conflicted whether or not JJ McCarthy, how legit will he be in the NFL? And yeah, I'm really curious to see what these guys have to say. So we'll take a listen and we'll break it down from there.
Currently have the number 3 pick, about $47 million in cap space that we can't spend, and I guess a favorite replacement for Mac Jones. GM Elliott Wolf is reportedly, quote, pushing hard for JJ McCarthy of Michigan. Oh. Nick, your reaction to the team of the 21st century's moves in the post-Belichick era?
I mean, up to this point, this offseason's been just a disaster.
Well,
there you go. So here, listen, I'm not saying Mayo's the wrong hire. I'm saying not doing a search is the wrong decision. Not looking outside the building, not conducting interviews, and then landing on Gerard Mayo was a mistake. And then they did the exact same thing for the GM. And if you're not familiar with how the GM was hired, let me tell you. Jonathan Kraft, who's the son of Robert Kraft. Jonathan now seems to be in charge. He decided Elliott Wolf, who's the son of Ron Wolf, who used to run the Packers, that Elliott Wolf was the best man for the job. And Elliott Wolf decided his new right-hand man should be Matt Groh. That's the son of Al Groh, who used to coach the Jets. So that's the GM. Elliott Wolf, Matt Groh, and Gerard Mayo are going to run the draft. And then Mayo's coaching staff was filled out by first-time defensive coordinator DeMarcus Covington, whose entire career has been spent in New England. And then they did go outside of the building for Alex Van Pelt, who just got fired by the Browns. To supplement that offense that Alex Van Pelt's going to coordinate, they added who? I'm waiting. No, he was already on the team, right?
We brought him back.
Oh, he had been on the team before. Yeah. You guys couldn't close the deal on Calvin Ridley because Elliott Wolf couldn't negotiate better than Ridley's girlfriend. And right now, the best I can tell is what happened there. And so and now it looks like Elliott Wolf, who had said he's going to make the call on draft day, wants to hire a low upside, high floor, undefeated national champion quarterback with limited physical attributes, which is exactly what they did 4 years ago. So I say it's gone poorly.
But here's the thing. Maybe.
Well,
we don't know about any of those guys.
Thank you.
I mean, Gerard Mayo, I think he'll work out. We don't know, but we're looking at, D'Amico Ryans, Antonio Pierce. Yeah. He looks like he could be linebacker. He could be good like those guys. And let's keep it real. With Bill Belichick and a stable organization, they hired Matt Patricia as an offensive coordinator.
Shouldn't they then
so
go
we
outside
can't
the
say.
building
No,
for
my
something?
point is they were making disastrous moves before this new regime. I'm just saying let's give the new regime a chance. You're right; they haven't been able to sign anybody. They re-signed some of their guys, but this is a long-term project. So I'm not really ready to crush them yet, Wiles. I'll give them a chance to see what they do.
Remember when I coined the phrase "defense wins championships"? Our defense was great last year. It's kind of inarguable.
You
that
brought
we were
back
great.
some of those guys.
Yeah. But Judon was out for half the year, and Christian Gonzalez, who could have won Defensive Rookie of the Year, he was out early in the year. Both will come back healthy. Uche back on a one-year deal. So the defense will be excellent, which is why you might have thought I was on the drive for 7, right? Our 7th Super Bowl trophy. Right
7
here.
wins.
Boom. You see it. The drive for 5. Over-under is at 4.5. The drive for 5.
You're going to be happy with 5 wins.
Well, I'll be happy, and everyone who believed in me when I said take the Patriots over. We're on the drive for 5. And honestly, I am not trying to win the Super Bowl. It would be nice to win the Super Bowl. I'm not going to try to microwave it because we did have a rookie quarterback come in and lead us to the playoffs, but it wasn't the long-term solution. I would be happy with the drive for 5 or a little Lionsy. a little like, ooh, they're coming. They're going to be good. There's a little bit of energy
I hear
there.
you.
Next year, they're going to.
Okay. First off, the Detroit Lions have Jared Goff, who is a great quarterback, an absolute great quarterback. Okay, so let's not get that twisted. They have an elite offensive coordinator. I don't know if one day he'll be able to become an elite offensive head coach because he might not have the personality and whatnot, but he is an elite offensive coordinator. Those two things alone matter significantly. Not to mention, I'm not even going to name all the other offensive weapons that they have, okay? So this idea that they could maybe be the Detroit Lions or something is comically absurd. Because not to mention, they had to plug in a Jared Goff. What quarterback? Maybe if they went out and got a Dak Prescott and they had an elite offensive coordinator waiting in the wings that just couldn't do anything with Mac Jones, then I could say, okay, maybe. That's not the case here. So I don't understand how you could even remotely bring up the Detroit Lions in that situation. That makes I really can't even comprehend it, because the Detroit Lions had to draft very well. They had to bake. And again, make no mistake about it, all of this really comes together because they had Jared Goff, who is a great quarterback, and they had a great OC, an elite OC, who has truly proven his worth, who would have been a head coach this season, but opted not to. So, yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
It'd be great.
Wild.
And the
That would be
drive for
great with
five
cap
starts
room.
today.
That would be good
Yeah,
with
but
cap room next year.
Okay.
We got cap room right now. We
No,
literally
I know,
have money.
but if you show people, as you said, we're coming. Oh, they're building something, and then you have all that
But we
cap
have
room.
$47 million. Like, hey, want 47?
Well, because people look at you like they're a joke right now.
Yeah,
You got to change
wait till
that
the drive
image.
for five.
And I just want to be very
Don't
clear
need more
before we
than
move
five.
on. I am not trying to say that I think Gerard Mayo is going to be a bad head coach. I think he's an unknown for everybody. What I am saying is, I think any coaching search where they leave out the search part is a mistake.
It was preordained.
It was preordained by a regime that evidently the Crafts have so little taste for. They made a 10-part documentary. The last 5 parts were tearing him down.
Well,
and now it's his protege. It just doesn't seem like
quick question
Yeah.
about this conflicting news stories, which I found a little bit disheartening. From the NFL.com, the headline was in February, Patriots executive Elliott Wolf to have final say during 2024 NFL draft. So what's he pushing for?
Right, that's what so that's a weird thing, because and that first thing wasn't a report. He said it.
Oh.
He was at the podium and he
got
said,
final
"I have
say."
final say." And so now
It's like, I have final say on what I eat for breakfast.
I don't know.
And I really want eggs. Like, all right.
He's got to wait and see if Jonathan
against?
Kraft, who he wants.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the Patriots be that good in any time soon. I mean, I guess if they can really hit with a QB, sure. But again, you need the OC, you need the other offensive weapons. Everybody, they want to point to the Texans. And I don't understand how you're throwing Antonio in there now too, from the Raiders. I mean, what has he done so far? Nothing. So this idea that we can now already crown him as a success. I mean, DeMarco had true success with the 49ers. He forged that defense and then got CJ Stroud, who happened to be a great quarterback with also an elite potential, not an elite OC, but an elite OC in the making, and potentially an elite offensive head coach in the making that everyone wants to overlook just because they don't really know who he is, which I understand. Not everyone knows all the DCs and OCs. That's why I often just say OC, DC, rather than just throw out names, because then everyone, can get behind that. And those things matter. I think one of the biggest things that we overlook as fans and as viewers of the NFL is the importance of DCs and OCs. Everyone always just focuses on the head coach and some of the players. OCs and DCs are so important. And again, if you're an offensive head coach, then the DC is essentially the coach, the voice, the everything on defense. And vice versa, if you have a defensive head coach, the OC may as well be your head coach for the offense, may as well be the main voice, especially with the quarterback. So that's what I've always said about Josh Allen and the Bills, of them changing out OCs. Josh Allen is like having a new head coach like every year, you know, and that really matters. It really, really matters. It's the whole identity, the whole voice, the whole structure, the whole system, whatever words we want to use, these things really matter. So having stability, and that is why Andy Reid and the Chiefs have also had so much success with Spags. He's not going anywhere. And Andy Reid, you know, was even with him back in Philly. So those things really matter. Just having that stability matters, let alone whether or not he's elite or not, which I think, you know, Spags is. But just having that stability and that constant is, you know, really does go a long ways. And right now the Patriots lack that. So they want to talk about the Detroit Lions. Get out of here. Come on. That's insulting to the Detroit Lions, quite honestly. And I am insulted for them. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. Do you agree with Nick that the Patriots offseason has been a disaster? Or do you agree with Wilds or Brew that, hey, we don't really know yet, or hey, they could be coming? Let me know in the comments below. And please don't forget to subscribe. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.